The Läckerli are so typical for Basel. Is it a Basel-Stadt or a Basel-Land brand?
The brand Läckerli Huus actually is a Basel-Stadt brand, but the production of the Läckerli is in Basel-Land. So let's say region of Basel, and we cover both.
How important are the Läckerli for the identity of Basel?
Oh, very important. It's actually the specialty from Basel. Gives Basel maybe also an emotional face and a sympathetic face. So actually it belongs to Basel.
How do you experience that?
All tourists want to taste them. They come into the shop, say, well, we heard about the Basel Läckerli, can we taste that? What is that? They're very curious and they want to bring that home as well. And also hotels, restaurants, they want to have that maybe in the rooms, in the hotel rooms as a present for the tourists, for the guests. So yeah, I think it's good if a city has something unique, which is really special for it.
You mostly produce for Switzerland and you have several shops. Which canton likes the Läckerli the most?
Yeah, we sell the most in Basel, of course, but probably also because of the tourists, because all Basel travelers want to have the Basel Läckerli. But otherwise, you cannot really tell, because people eat that in Graubünden, in Zurich. Also in the French part of Switzerland, most specialties from the German part of Switzerland are not very popular in the French part, because also it's maybe difficult to pronounce or whatever. But we actually have a shop in Lausanne, in Geneva. We send a lot of parcels also to the French part, so it's really equal.
You export to Germany and Japan, as far as I know. How important is that market?
So we have 10% of our turnover going into the export business, so really, really small. Number one is then Japan, but not with the Läckerli, I must admit. It's rather with caramels, which we also produce, soft caramels, chocolate with caramels, waffle rolls with caramels, everything that is with caramel. They don't like the Läckerli.
Why?
Because a biscuit for Japanese must be crispy, and the Läckerlis are not crispy, so they think it's not fresh when they eat it. And the number two is Germany, but I must also say it's just across the border, and 85% of the clients are Swiss, which go over the border to have their shopping.
Right there.
So they go, they do their weekly shopping, and they also buy Basel Läckerli. They're not cheaper in Germany than in Switzerland, not at all. But still, when you're there, you buy everything for 1 week. You want Läckerli, we must be there, otherwise they will buy something else. So that's the business.
Are you interested in exporting more?
We're only a small company, so we have really limited resources, and it's rather opportunity business, I must say. If someone's coming and we think, yeah, it's good and we can start, why not? But it's not that we're really looking for it at the moment.
So your focus is Switzerland?
Exactly.
Okay. You're the owner and the CEO of the Läckerli Huus since 2007. Tell me, how did you come up with that idea to become the owner?
I'm a food engineer, so actually I'm from that business. And I thought after many years in the food industry, it would be nice to run a business of my own. And I didn't have a very good idea of a new product. So I looked at companies already existing. Actually, I'm a Basel Läckerli lover. I've been a Basel Läckerli lover since my childhood. And I thought, well, it's a good company. It's small, but it has potential, I thought. I have good products. And I knew the former CEO, and he was, I think, 63. And I thought, well, maybe he should think about what's happening next. So I told him I would be interested to take over the business. And of course, it was a family-owned business. He didn't think of selling the company, but he wanted actually a new CEO. And I said, yeah, I do the CEO job, but only when I also can own the company. So many, many discussions later, we agreed that it would be a good solution like that.
Wow. Do you think that also comes because you come from a very active family? I mean, your father is very political active. Your sisters are also active with businesses, and your brother, so...
Yeah, well, I haven't analyzed if this is like the genes or a coincidence or whatever. So it is as it is, yeah. But I'm rather active than passive, definitely.
Also your husband, he is the CEO of Möbel Fichter. Do you talk a lot about business when you're together?
Yeah, of course, when we're together, we also talk about business because business is in our mind, and sometimes we also have the same challenges, sometimes very different challenges. But it's good also to talk with someone that is not exactly in the same business, but still knows about business. So we also talk about business at home. But yeah, we also have kids, so they also keep us busy with other topics. So it's not only just about business.
How do you do that with the kids? I mean, both of you are so busy. Then you have kids. Yeah. How do you both work that out?
Organize. It's all about organization. But we have a nanny at home, which gives us the freedom we need actually for the business. And yeah, I'm very glad we have that. But I also try to be 1 day a week at home, I must say.
But you could never be the housewife then?
Oh, I don't think so, no. Even though I enjoy very much the times with my kids, but I think I enjoy it because I don't have it every day.
Very honest. Then, as I mentioned before, your family, of course, I'm going to come back to your father. He's probably the best-known politician in Switzerland, also sometimes controversial. How did that influence you?
Well, I'm a politically interested person because of course at home we also discussed about business, about politics, about everything. So actually I'm still today very interested, even though I'm not like an active person, I'm not in a party, I don't do politics, but I always go voting, for example, because it really interests me what's happening. And it often goes on my nerves also, the politics. So it's maybe why I'm not in politics, but I also saw that it's part of that business, I think.
Have you already had discussions with your father, Christoph Blocher, about things, or do you don't talk about that at all?
No, many discussions, of course. Yeah, it gives you also the chance to train your skills, because he's of course very good in rhetoric. So yeah, it's good to also train that. So many discussions already, of course, as a teenager. Today we don't see us that often, but still from time to time, of course, we have discussions.
Rhetorically, have you asked him for advice?
I don't think so, actually. Maybe I think I should, but I never do that. And he would never give me advice without asking, never. So maybe you're right, I should do that. Maybe I should call him tonight and ask him for some points.
So he's not the kind of father that tells you how to do things?
He rather thinks you should ask him yourself, but he rather thinks we must do it our own way. And if we want to know something, we can ask. So that's rather his style.
So you mentioned you don't see each other often. How often is that?
When I see the parents, of course, it's in the weekend. Since we have children, it's a bit more often. But nevertheless, of course, he's very busy. We are busy, I'd say, maybe once every 2 months, something like that.
And coming back to the Läckerli Huus maybe, where do you see it going? Where is your future?
Yeah, we believe actually very much in the Swiss market because Switzerland is growing. We also expanded our range. We do now also premium chocolate products like truffles, pralines. Very fresh products, and we'll see, even though of course you can find others, we see that our products are really successful in the market. Of course, we are still in a very small niche, but we think we can grow there as well.
How important is the Läckerli Huus for the regional economy?
I wouldn't know statistically. We have 150 employees. 100 employees are here in Frankendorf, 50 are out in our shops. During Christmas time, we have another 60 to 80 employees because we do 40% of our turnover from October to December. So Christmas is really our peak season. So for Frankendorf, 100 employees is not so bad.
You're already at the top of Läckerli Huus. Any other challenge that you are looking for?
Oh, I have many challenges, also within Läckerli Huus, I think. We need to make sure that Läckerli Huus is successful also in many years. So I think we have a lot to do there. I see many jobs waiting for me, and also who knows what future brings? Maybe there is some new opportunities that brings more challenge. Then we take it and we do the best out of it.
Maybe you one day will be politically active?
Oh, I don't think so. But who knows?
Miriam Baumann, thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you. Same to you.